Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out. Pleasure to be joined by former world title challenger Craig Richards. Craig, good to see you. How's life?
Life's good. Life's better now. Back on track, career back on track. So life's good.
Is that how you feel? A bit of pressure off your shoulders?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of pressure off my shoulders because as I took a lot of time out of the ring, I came back, had an off night, and I feel like those question marks is was it an off night or has he lost it? So it was a lot of pressure to make sure that I go out and deliver. I only had a short camp, 6 weeks, and I had to get it right within 6 weeks. And I feel like, yeah, I got it right. Could have performed better, but one every round I got the stoppage. So it shows that, yeah, I'm still there.
Hey, can we rewind a little bit? Because I remember speaking to you at the start of the year, and you were kind of saying that things are sort of starting to click with Shane McGuigan and the team. But then I was quite surprised to see you move back to the Sims gym. What did you feel was missing, and did you feel that you found that on the night against McCrory?
Yeah, I just felt like things started getting into place at Shane's in the sense of how he would like me to box. I was starting to get it a bit more. Still didn't feel like I was still the full version of myself. Like I was understanding the system and able to execute certain things, but it wasn't second nature.
Hmm.
Where I'm one of them reactive second nature fighters. I see things in split seconds I can deliver. It wasn't. It was the overthought of everything I was doing then. And I just felt like my career um, I was at that stage where I couldn't afford to keep trying and trial and error and making mistakes. So I knew what the Matchroom gym does for me in terms of either my fitness, my conditioning, and the style of boxing all worked well for me. So for me, I just had to go back to what I knew worked and grow off of that.
And on a day-to-day basis, is it more Peter or Tony who's kind of looking after your career?
No, Peter's not training anymore. Says Tony. I'm with Tony Sims now. So I was with Peter Sims when I was at the matching gym. Peter didn't really want to do the training as much anymore. Why I ended up moving over to Shane McGuigan's. And then, of course, then it wasn't working at Shane. So I went back over to the matching where Tony's always had some sort of involvement over my career. Obviously, day to day was always with Pete, but Tony would chime in. It was kind of like a similar blueprint,
Hmm.
how they both thought of boxing. But obviously Tony's always been like the head coach at Matchroom. So when I spoke to Tony and there was an opportunity to come back over, obviously I took that with two hands.
Yeah, so going into that fight with McCrory, did you feel that you needed to send a statement to the division and to yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I felt like to everyone, the boxing world, the division, myself, I had to let everyone know I'm still here and I'm a problem. And I've still got my goals and aspirations to get to the top of this division.
Mhm. Yeah, what were you being told in between rounds to get that finished in the end with a body shot?
Well, Tony actually said to me going into the that eighth round, he said, "Don't let me see you come back to this stall." So I don't want to see you back in this corner again. Go and get him out of there. I don't want to see you back here. I said, all right. So I was under pressure that eighth round to make sure I would have got him out of there. And I could hear his corner throughout screaming about my right hand. Like everyone knows, obviously, my right hand, I've got a lot of power in the right hand. So I could hear them screaming, remember his right hand, stay away from his right hand, stay away from his right hand. And then I kind of played that into my advantage by faking the right hand, knowing he's going to my left to whip the body shot in. So I just used it to lead him on to the other shot. Because earlier in my career, I was looking a lot of people out with the left foot to the body and to the head. But people don't realize that they just think it's my straight hand or my overhand right. So I just dummied that and went old school and took him out with the left instead.
How often do you have you had instructions like that in your career?
Uh, British title fight, I had that. Peter told me in the ninth, he wanted to see me get him out of this round. And I went and had to go and do it that round as well in the ninth. But not often you get told, don't let me see you come back to the store.
Mm.
Go and get him out. And I like it. Like they've got an understanding because they know me very well and they understand boxing very well. They know when the opportunity is there. They know when the guy don't want to be in anymore, and they know my capabilities. So when he said that, he knew I was more than able to take him out at that point, and he knew I was just kind of going through the motion. So when he said that, I knew I had to ramp it up a little bit and go and deliver.
Now, you're a fighter, of course, and you won't have envisioned losing that fight with McCrory. But look, had that had happened, would you be seriously considering where you were in the sport?
Oh, definitely, like because I've established. You see me at the domestic level with the British title, Jake Balls, all of them sort of fights was all domestic level. British and pre-British title, and I've been delivering, getting them knockouts, and I've boxed at fringe in between the European to world level, between the Mateas, etc. And I was delivering it just that short when I've come up short at the top level against like guys like Bivol. We've neck and neck, one round, half a round, and Buatsi was could have went either way. These are world class fighters, so we knew I belonged at that stage. And McCrory's also been IBO, obviously IBO world champion. He's only lost at the weight below against Berlanga, unbeaten at light heavyweight. And it was kind of like he's the step just before that stage of the top guys. And if I wasn't going to deliver there, then I ain't going to deliver at the stage above. So I don't want to go back and fight these guys. I've accomplished that. So if I wasn't able to deliver here, it's like, what was the point?
Mhm. Just before we go into what's next for you, what was it like having John Ryder in the corner?
It was brilliant as well, to be fair, because it was no different to what I'm used to because me and John have been in camps multiple years together and he's pushed me through camps as a fighter and we've bounced off each other in them hard runs. He's given me them long speeches to keep pushing on and etc. So it was nice that he's still involved in my camps. As a fighter, he was before, but now as a coach, and obviously we've got Tony obviously doing the training, and then we've got John there to put his advice and input. And over the years, he was member like one of my main sparring partners for most of the years. So he knows what I do well as maybe my flaws. So he knows what to tell me in sense of I would advise you also do this and don't do this because he's been in there and he's experienced being a fighter against me. So we've got an established world-class trainer as well as a fighter who's now trainer, learning his trade, but understands me as a person. So the combination of us always great.
So looking into the future then, who or what or when do you want that opportunity next?
I'm happy to get ASAP. I live the life. I stay in the gym. I haven't at the moment. I took the week off. It was a hard camp, but I'm ready to go ASAP. It's just obviously it's got to be a good name, someone highly ranked, and someone who's going to get me pushed towards that goal of being world champion. So we don't just want to like a tick over fight. We need a good name, a good opponent, and someone worth going out and delivering a win. So when people can see me moving forward, and that's why I like Padraig McCrory. McCrory was a perfect opponent, highly ranked. He was at that level, and they're the sort of fights that I want to keep being involved in.
A lot of movement in the division, of course. Recently, we saw the rematch between Bivol and Beterbiev. We'll get to that in a moment, but I wanted to ask you about Joshua Buatsi and Callum Smith. A lot of people kind of were feeling that Joshua Buatsi might have got the victory in a tough fight, but it was Callum Smith who turned that kind of pre-fight prediction on its head and came out with the victory over Joshua Buatsi. What was your assessment of that fight?
Yeah, I just say it was a very good fight. Both men put it all on the line. Both threw big bombs. Both took good shots, showed good chins, showed good power, showed determination. And obviously, there was always a winner and a loser, but you can't necessarily say like anyone lost in that fight because they both put it on the line and showed a good account of themselves. And it was good to watch this as a fan's perspective.
Mhm. What do you think about the potential of having that fight with Buatsi again?
Yeah, like all these fights are obviously all possibilities again. And as I said, whatever fight's going to deliver me up towards that world title or get me a world title or put me in a world title shot, I'm happy to do so and move forward on.
Might be the case that we might see Callum Smith versus Anthony Yard next. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, good fight. I know Anthony's got Lyndon,
Mhm.
um, and I know that Callum's now probably mandatory for Bivol. We don't know how it's all going to play out in the sense of all the mandatories might get called on Bivol because I think he's got about two or three waiting for their shot. So I don't know what belts are going to be vacant, etc. So we'll see.
At the highest level of the division, Bivol obviously beat Beterbiev in that rematch. It was a fantastic performance. Both fighters again put it on the line there, and a third seems possible too. But what did you think about that second?
It was good, very good. Bivol seemed to make the necessarily adjustments to get the victory. He just was a bit smart this time with his work rate. Usually he works really hard throughout the rounds until he gets tired. Then he sees it out. but he seemed to work really hard at the beginning, take a few rounds off, and then finish stronger than he did last time, which was a good tactic. But both man, yet again, showed a lot, high level IQ. It's one of them fights. If you watch it 10 times, it might be five that way, five that way. Both great. It was a great fight to watch.
Who would you back in the third?
Um, I think possibly Bivol because I don't know if Beterbiev now can make the changes that he needs to. I think maybe like Bivol now being a younger, fresher man, um, he's got different ways of boxing. Beterbiev could just do what he did, but like maybe stick it on him for a couple more rounds, more to get the win. But so probably you'd have to probably favour Bivol.
Wanted to ask you as well about the team. Conor Benn has got a big fight coming up with Chris Eubank Jr. Will you be helping him and assisting him with that fight camp for that fight with Eubank Jr.?
I'll probably be in camp with him at times when he's away at the moment training, but I'll probably be around him in camp. I won't be sparring him. I'm too big, but I'll probably be around.
So have you ever sparred with him, or is it just because you're too big that you won't do
I'm
it?
too big. We've had a little mess around.
Right.
You know what Conor's like. He wanted to try to see if he could knock me out. So we had a little play around, but nothing serious. It's a little mess around. But no, I wouldn't spar him naturally. I'm big light heavyweight, strong light heavyweight.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't ever go and start loading up and hitting Conor. Is how many weights below me.
Uh-huh. How does he beat Chris Eubank Jr.?
I think just being himself. You know, he's quite explosive. He's fast. You know, he comes from low, comes up high. And Eubank, I've seen a couple of these fights, one or two of recent, and I feel like he comes up a little bit high. I think if Conor comes underneath and throws big bombs coming from low to high, he could catch him on the chin. And he just and Conor's quite fit. He's quite fit. He's quite explosive. So that's his chances really, especially early. Conor's going to be flying out the blocks. So it obviously comes more interesting if he gets through six. Eubank 4 to 6 if he gets through that. If not, and it's a barn burner early, you probably favour Conor.
As part of Team Ben, were you feeling a little bit peeved after the egg slap moment?
Nah, it's all for entertainment purposes. Me personally, I wouldn't have liked it.
Mm.
The fight might have got locked off. Someone slapped me with an egg. I might have been at the car park, but it's all part of it. Obviously, all entertainment. I'm sure he didn't take too much for it. They're getting paid a lot of money. I'm sure he'll take it on the chin.
Bring this back to yourself then. Look, that talking about fights that you probably or might want back. The fight with Willie Hutchinson. A lot of people felt that you were going into that fight the favorite and felt that you didn't perform, and maybe that was part of moving over to Shane McGuire and that style. But you're back with the Sims team now. Do you feel that if that fight came round again, you'd be better prepared
the reason why I was such a strong favorite because everyone knows if I turn up as my normal self, then we know how that fight would have went. And me trying this new style and not being fit and not being conditioned, because obviously at the Matchroom gym, we do a lot of fitness and conditioning. I'm always, if you look at all my fights, I'm very fit and I get stronger and stronger as the fight goes on. That was probably one of the first fights not being under the tutelage of the Matchroom gym and doing the training we do. Is the first time I've got tired in the back end of a fight, which is unlike myself. So we know if I was just myself, like, that fight, I would definitely, I'd love to run that back.
One other fight I want to get your thoughts about is the rematch between Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron. How do you think that one goes?
Good fight. It's a good fight. I think it's just whoever can implicate their game plan again. You know, there's completely different styles of fighting. So if Liam Cameron can make it a rough, rugged fight and draw him into it, he's going to have a lot of success. But if Ben can keep him on the outside box, move, and just box and rack up his points and see it out, then he'll have a lot of success. So that's the good thing about boxing. We'll soon find out.
Okay, and we'll soon find you back in the ring very soon. Looking forward to seeing you back in the ring. Congratulations on the win over McCrory, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Speak to you soon.